Elo Stacks put, whatchamacallit, Castellanos only 23. Wait. What did he put before? Because he was talking about the move from Aaron Long. Oh, yeah. He said West Ham wanted Aaron Long and Rebels cock-blocked the move. Then he got injured, and that noise quieted down. That noise is completely quieted down. Although, that's another player who I can see, even though he's a little bit older. I think he's, 28? I think he's older than Walker Zimmerman, Aaron Long.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Again, we can look this up.
Yeah.
But if he plays well in the World Cup, which I do think them two are going to be our starting, so he's 30, he's 29. I think that's going to be our starting center backs, Aaron Long and Walker Zimmerman. It feels like it because they play well together.
They do. My concern is that Aaron Long, obviously coming back from the injury, he's not playing as well as some of the other center backs on the roster, on the USMNT roster. What are you laughing at?
Crimson Pizza for $1.1 million per year. That's about 4,000 chicken nuggets per week.
Okay, that's the math Alexis appreciates. No, it's interesting. Aaron Long is getting a lot of criticism from USMNT Twitter just because. There's Chris Richards, there's Cameron Carter-Vickers, there's center backs that play in Europe, and generally the feeling, I think Cameron
Carter-Vickers was on loan at Celtic and played pretty well, but it looks like he's done at, what was he? He's not at Tottenham still. Is he a Fulham player?
I don't know where his
but these are
contract
guys,
is.
Did Cameron Carter-Vickers do anything that really shocked? I mean, I know he played well this season. I'm not going to do that. But is there anything that tells you, yeah, he should start over in Aaron Long?
No, it's just that I think the base kind of opinion is usually if they're playing in Europe, they're better than the MLS guys, right? So that's generally, so people can't really comprehend that an MLS guy would get an opportunity over a player that's playing in Europe. But sometimes some of these players are not playing that much.
So this is what I was going to say. We saw Sean Johnson stand on his head against Uruguay, and people were saying yo, this should be the starter. But the question is, should he? I mean, you've got players that are playing at bigger clubs, playing probably against better competition in training than Sean Johnson is, but they're not getting the game minutes. They're not getting those big game minutes that you need.
Nick Red said, "You're wrong, Christian. Aaron Long has been playing outstanding since he came back. I've watched a couple games. I'm not saying that he's been terrible, but he hasn't because of the injury. He hasn't had as many minutes as some of the other players in what you call it, in USMNT.
Just said, yo, y'all hear about this guy Walker Zimmerman, dude? Crazy good center back. Yo, I'm telling you, man.
And Thomas said, so all I'm saying is that because of the injury, I think there's a little bit of bias from USMNT fans, and I think that's why they think he's not good enough already or doesn't deserve the spot. Thomas 19064 said Rebel did Long dirty. Remember speaking of West Ham, I think Aaron Long
was West Ham. Yeah.
He was getting interest, and he wanted
$3.5 million, and they needed a center back for the rest of the season.
He wanted to leave, and Rebel was just like, no, it's just either it's not enough money or they didn't want to let him go. And then he tears an ACL. It's just that's the worst, bro. It could have had a huge payday. He's a bit older. It would have been such a life-changing thing. It would have been his
chance to go to Europe.
Yeah,
for sure.
And who knows if that's going to happen again? But it does feel like especially with the Miles Robinson injury. I wouldn't say it's Aaron Long's spot to lose because I still think Chris Richards has a strong opportunity. And then
He's
also
a good player.
And it also the John Brooks situation is absolutely baffling.
He's also I feel like we've moved on from John Brooks, Timmy Chandler. Those guys had their moment.
Well, but then Greg Berhalter should say, we've moved on from some of the older players.
You can't say that.
Really?
No one has ever said that about...
Everybody's asking.
But no one's ever said that about Michael Bradley. No one said that about Josie Altidore. They just haven't been invited back in.
All right.
You can't never say we've moved on as a nation because you never know when you're going to need them,
Yeah. Elo Stack said, RBNY said no because they wanted more money. It was late in the window. We couldn't replace him. It's true. He's an important player.
Yeah, but you got to take your win. They did do him wrong. Nick Red said, Baron Bong is outstanding. Who cares what U.S. men's national team Twitter says? Nice Cold Brew said also PK cheated on Shakira with John Brooks. Triple G was devastated.
So it's going to be a sort of an interesting. It's a fun international break because at least it feels like the tone of with all these MLS players heading over to Europe. It feels like there's, I like that. What you call it, like European media outlets, like English media outlets are like, who's this guy? Like now they want to know more. Like we just like somebody from sometimes we get like European podcasts, like football podcasts that are like, hey, we want to know a little bit more about MLS. It's just like, okay,
why?
Oh, is this a trap?
Yeah. You think I haven't heard this one before? Click on this link and put in your password.
You think I'm gonna
thank you.
You think I'm gonna trust that accent? Never.
Nah.
I've been fooled before.
Okay. Pronounce this RCLENS. Let's see if you're really France. By the way, John Carl Trid said Turner stands on his head every game. He's the starter. Yes, but for the next 6 months, he's going to go be a backup.
Right. Yeah, and so this is a good...
Who do you want in a World Cup? Do you want the guy playing at the biggest club, or do you want the guy playing the most minutes?
Chris, I can't hear you. Just say it out loud. Sean Johnson.
She wants Sean Johnson.
Dude, look, I said this several times already.
Well, you know what? I did get the go-go dancer. Sean, come out. Okay. Just the voice of a demon. Yeah, this is Sean Johnson.
Damn. This dancer's 6'8". This is crazy.
Wow. You just broke Christian's head by shaking that ass.
Look, I think there's a possibility that it's Sean Johnson. That's all I'll say. I think after his game against Uruguay, I think those possibilities are a little bit higher. But I expect Matt Turner. I said that yesterday.
All signs are pointing to Matt Turner.
Right. So, but I do want to.
Also, I think Zach Steffen may be moving on from Manchester City. Wasn't that a rumor for like a little bit?
I mean, yeah. Once we saw what happened in the FA Cup, yeah, the rumor started as soon as he let that ball in.
I think it was if you read Pep's mouth, if you could read his lips, that's what he said.